Hi everyone, it's Audrey. It's Stitchy Witch 42. It is Monday, the 26th day of April 2021, and I would like to welcome you all to another one of my videos where I talk about cross-stitch, life, the universe, and everything. So my birthday is coming up at the end of this week. My birthday is on the 29th, and because of life, my husband got last weekend off, not next weekend off. And we were going to go over to the coast for a day. And life happened. Our plumbing, excuse the pun, went to shit. And instead of getting to go to the coast, Mark got to spend his 2 days off tearing out the toilet, digging holes out along the side of the house where the pipe is at, doing all the things that he had to do to get our plumbing situation back in line. So we never made it over to the coast last weekend. And that's okay, because the plumbing was more important. I've spent this morning finishing cleaning up in the room there, getting the floor mopped, getting the bathtub cleaned out because it overflowed too. It was a horrible, horrible mess. But my husband has got it all taken care of and things are back to usual in the house. And I still have next weekend off and get to do other fun things for my birthday weekend. So there you go. I have got a lot of stuff to share because I've gone on a spending spree. Yeah, I've gone on a spending spree. I've got some stitching done. I've got some birthday gifts to share with you. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to make a correction from my last video. I had received 2 letters in the mail about a week apart. Both of them were in yellow envelopes. Both of them had the first name Janet on the return address. But I didn't look beyond that, and I didn't realize that it was 2 different Janets that had sent 2 different cards. So the second card that was sent, the one that I made the mistake with, was actually sent to me by someone who has watched my videos for a while. Her name is Janet Stopel. She is the one who stitched that cute little moon piece for me. This right here. So I have put it on the spine of my stitching journal. And on the inside of my stitching journal, along with that little moon charm and the card, she had also sent some tags that could be used for journaling. I took one of those tags apart and refurbished it and made it into a tab to go into my journal. And because she and I have joked about this, I wrote on one side of it, "Damn it," and on the other side of it, "Janet," because she knows, as do I, that that's a reference to Rocky Horror. And she said that her husband and son like to say that to her whenever they're watching Rocky Horror. So I thought it would be kind of fun to have that in my journal to remind me not only to not assume that I know that I'm getting something from the right person, the wrong person. Am I saying that correctly? I don't know. Janet Stopel stitched the little moon for me, gave me the tags, the card. Thank you so very, very much. And I apologize for getting it wrong in my last video. Okay, so I have received some other things for my birthday. And I might as well share them now because that way I can clean off the table that's full of stuff over here. So my birthday is April 29th. And I know that I have at least 2 birthday buddies. One of them is Kerri's daughter, Lottie, Kerri and Stitches. And the other one, I just found out about a week and a half ago that Rocio, Cocohamas Stitchery, her birthday is also the 29th. This is her golden birthday. She will be 29 on the 29th. I know that today, which is the 26th, is Melanie Smith, Yarns and Threads' birthday. I know that niecey Lynn has had a birthday this month. I know that Bobbie, Pumpkin Creek Primitives, has had a birthday this month. I know that Linda Craig, who has watched my videos for quite some time, has a birthday this month. And I am sure there are lots of other people who have April birthdays. But those are the only ones that I know of right now. So, like I said, I have received some other birthday goodies. And the first one that I wanted to share with you, I got from Vicki, StitchNButton. She sent me this cute little package wrapped up with this lovely little French paper. It has Eiffel Towers on it, everything. I will be using this in my paper crafting. But she sent me this, she sent me this floss and some tags and this wonderful little needle case, a little metal needle case. Vicki, I want you to know that when I was opening it up, the needle popped out and fell on the floor, and I then spent several minutes looking for it with my flashlight until I finally found it. The floss is a Silks for You. It's colorway PR168. Beautiful, beautiful cobalt blue. Thank you ever so much. I love it. And she sent me extra little tags to go on these so that I can use them for labeling other flosses and stuff. Okay. I also received a beautiful, beautiful card from Connie. Count twice, stitch once. Connie and Melina, who should be listed in the hashtag under 1000 sub club, they have great videos and they really need to get more love because they haven't reached 1,000 yet, and they do beautiful things. But Connie also does some paper crafting, and she's sent me some of her cards before, and I'm just absolutely amazed at this woman's talent. But beautiful, beautiful card. And it even pops up in the center there. But she sent me a piece of floss jewelry, and I love this because she knows my love for Alphonse Mucha. And she said she had a piece of paperwork that had Alphonse Mucha artwork on it. So she made me a little floss ring to go along with that. Thank you, Connie. Thank you so much. Alrighty. So those are birthday gifts. But I went out and I purchased stuff for myself because I can, and I did. See my new light? My other one that was here had the flex wire on it. And while I like it and it worked really well and it was really easy to move it up and down where I wanted and everything, I've noticed that with those flex bars, after a while they just don't stay where you want them to. So I contacted Anna, Stitch Roadies, and I asked her which one she had, and I went out and bought the same one. So I just got this Saturday. Yeah, it showed up Saturday. Well, my house was a disaster. My light showed up. Isn't that the way it works? But then I had also purchased something else for me, and I got a kick out of it when I got Connie's card today, this morning, as a matter of fact, and it had the Alphonse Mucha artwork on it. One of the things that I had found from a company called Fringe Pop, this was on Etsy. This is actually a cigarette case, but they showed it as being a case for business cards. And a couple of years ago, I had some cards made for myself that said Stitchy Witch 42 on them, and it has my Flosstube channel and my Instagram on the back of it. So I saw this case, which has 2 Alphonse Mucha ladies on it, and I bought it so that I could put my cards in here so that someday when I get to go to retreats again, I can take this with me and I can pass out the cards to anybody who would want to have them. My camera is flashing at me right now. My battery is dying, so I'm going to pause the video here, go change the batteries, and I will be back in just a moment. Yeah. So, camera ran out of batteries, and I had to go change that, which leads me, I'm going to skip some of my purchases for the moment. I want to tell you what happened during my last video, because not only did I screw up on giving the right Janet the credit for the birthday card and such, I also missed sharing something with all of you because of technical difficulties. I had the batteries go out on me the last time I recorded, which is why I had to restart my video. But then halfway through my video, the camera turned itself off because the memory card was full. So I then spent 2 hours trying to figure out how to empty the memory card on the camera. Finally had a brilliant idea and told myself that if I took the memory card out of the camera, uploaded the first half of the video that I had made, at least then I wouldn't lose it. And then I could continue to empty the rest of the memory out of the card so that I could continue the second half of my video. Took me 2 hours. I really don't want to do that again. But when I went back and I was putting the videos together, because right now my video editing is me cutting off maybe a minute of the beginning of the videos and a minute of the end of the videos and putting 2 videos together, and yeah, that's my editing. When I uploaded that video, I hadn't looked at it. I hadn't watched it before I uploaded it. So where it cut off and where I started again, I showed a new start, a finish, and a fully finished item, and it never showed up in my video at all. At all. And the way I spliced them together, I don't think anybody noticed that I wasn't showing something there. So guess what? I'm going to show you a new start, a finish, and a fully finished item that was done before my last video, but you haven't seen it yet. This was a free pattern from Liz Matthews. You can get this if you subscribe to her newsletter, but this is Always. And I love the way this turned out. I stitched this on a piece of 28 count unknown pink linen. And it took me a while to figure out why I even had pink linen in my stash upstairs, because it's not something that I normally stitch on. But I realized that about 5 years ago I had stitched a piece for a friend, and this was the leftover piece of that linen. So obviously it was the right size, and I was very, very happy to use it. I then went to Michael's to see if I could find a frame for this, and they didn't have anything that fit, so I went to Goodwill. And this was part of a piece of wall art. It had a piece of dimensional wall art in it, and it was all glued together. But I thought that the frame itself would work for this, so I bought it for $3. Brought it home, deconstructed it, put it back together, and then I pinned and taped this piece and put it in there. And it's perfect. It's perfect. So that was the piece that you didn't see in my last video, because of life, the universe, and everything. Alrighty, let's go back to some purchases, and then I will get into stitching. So, I still forgot something upstairs. It's gonna stay upstairs. One of the things that I am going to be doing later on this year is I'm going to be participating in the box retreat in a box for Frogwarts Year 2, put on by the Black Needle Society. I didn't do last year, but I'm making up for it big time this year. So there is a Facebook group to go along with this retreat, and I was scrolling through it and I saw that they had a woman, part of the group. She works with the ladies who are Black Needle Society, and this lady is selling stitching themed t-shirts. And the first picture she showed I had to have for two reasons. First of all, it was a play on my favorite Dumbledore quote. And secondly, because this past February, when we were hit with the ice storm and we were without power for 2 days, I did what this shirt says. We lost our cell phone service for a little while, and when we got cell phone service back, I posted a picture of Instagram. I had been stitching on my Alphonse Mucha sitting over the couch by the south-facing window, because it was just that little bit warmer over there during the ice storm. And I was stitching on my Alphonse Mucha during the day with my sweater on and blankets on, and yeah. But in the evening, I took one of our battery-powered lanterns and used it so that I could stitch some more until it got too dark in the room to do any stitching at all. So when I saw this shirt, I had to have it. It says, "Stitching can be done in the darkest of times if one remembers to turn on the light." Yes. Yes, it can be done in the darkest of times if one remembers to turn on the lights. The lady who makes these, her name is Athena, and she has a Facebook group. She also has a Flosstube channel. So she's going to be one of my shout-outs today. She is Stitching Goddess Designs. If you go to her Facebook group, you can see other stitching themed shirts that she has. If you go to her channel and watch her, this woman has a love for everything Harry Potter, and her house houses so much Harry Potter goodness. It's It's really amazing. And she is stitching on some beautiful pieces. She is stitching on a Haid with a snake that she has nicknamed Nagini. So please go check out Athena, Stitching Goddess Designs, Facebook group, and YouTube. But I was talking about Frogwarts Year 2. In the Facebook group, they had a post in there that said where you can purchase the fabric and the floss pack. Okay. I'm not exactly organized. Get all this stuff out of here. I'll find what I want. Okay. So, they had a post saying that you could get the fabric and the floss pack for Frogwarts Year 2 from Cecilia's Samplers in Branson, Missouri. So I contacted them and I said I would like to order the fabric and I would like to order the floss. And I got a piece of 32 count Harvest Blessings. And I went for all the DMC flosses because I'm a DMC person. And they all showed up in this lovely little bag that looks like a poison bottle. Perfect for me. So perfect for me. They also showed in the Facebook group that people have finished last year's piece, and some of them are talking about finishing them off as drums. I guess the plan is to do, well, there's 7 books, 7 years at Hogwarts. I guess the plan is to maybe do a Frogwarts retreat every year for 7 years or longer. They may have to start over for the next generation. I don't know. But they're all going to be approximately the same size. And I know some of the people were talking about finishing them as drums. I have a different idea, but I'm going to wait and see how my idea works out before I share it. So because I bought these, I also went back to Black Needle Society and I ordered the pattern from year 1 because obviously I need to have it. It hasn't arrived yet. I guess I'll get to share that on my next video, right? So then, because I still wasn't done getting things for my Frogwarts retreat, I found something online at the Pottery Barn that I purchased, and it cost way too much, but that didn't stop me from purchasing it because it's my birthday and I get to spend money on myself if I want to, and I did. Like I said, this one is sitting upstairs. I will post a picture of it later on today on Instagram if anybody wants to see what it is. But it's a lap desk. And it's a Harry Potter themed lap desk. I, of course, got Gryffindor. So it's got a nice Gryffindor cover over the bottom of it. And the top has the Hogwarts crest on it. And then it slides either way and there's storage underneath. And I thought that is going to be perfect for me to use when I am doing this online retreat in July. So, that's all my Hogwarts or Frogwarts purchasing. Check the lists. Okay. Vicki, StitchNButtons, who sent me the beautiful silk floss. She makes project bags. I have several project bags from her. She also does the vinyl stickers like Athena does. On one of her videos, she showed one of these bags that you can get from Amazon, and she'd put a sticker on the other side of it. And of course I contacted her and I said, hey, can you make one of those for me? Because. So she did. And this is a prism design or prism sticker on there. But as you can see, it says, live long and stitch on. Of course I had to have this. Right? Right? So that was another purchase. And I know when Vicki sent that to me, there was a pile of stuff here on my table. She also sent me a package of Sweet Dreams tea, Bigelow. So, relaxing blend of comforting chamomile and soothing mint. So, a nighttime treat. Dropping things. So going from what I purchased at Vicki's, I then went over to Bobbie's Pumpkin Creek Primitives. I admit that I had not gone and checked out her Etsy shop, and I finally decided that I needed to do that. And what I found there was a lovely little floss ring with a cameo of a skull, because that's perfect for me. And while I was going through her shop, I went and looked to see what kind of patterns she had for sale. And I was looking at a lot of them, and at this point, I want to tell you that, you know, we're at the end of April. I have not been purchasing much this year at all. In fact, I've been downright good this year, and I haven't been purchasing anything until these last 3 weeks. Yeah. But I saw this one pattern and it was like, I have to have this pattern. I really, really have to have this pattern. Excuse me. Little burps there. And I'm not drinking any Diet Coke. Anyway, I saw this pattern. It is by Carriage House Samplings. And when I saw it, it's like, this piece screams me. Oh my God, screams me. I've not really looked at Carriage House Samplings before because samplers, and I don't stitch samplers. But this one, and it's not a sampler. This one, Halloween seed sack. Look at that. Look at that. That is gorgeous. And it's wonderful. And it arrived. And I wanted to start it right away because it's gorgeous. I want to do this so bad. I want to stitch it and I want to make the bag exactly like it's shown right here. I think it's lovely. And I think there's cat marks on the packaging. I just noticed that. There's little indents there. So one of her kitties got in there and personally marked it for me. Thank you so much. Didn't hurt the pattern at all. But I wanted to start this. And then I went back and I looked in my journal and I currently have 9 projects that I am working on. And that's causing me some stress. I have 9 current projects. So as much as I wanted to start that one, I thought to myself, no, I'm going to hold off. I have a couple of them that I think I could get done fairly soon, and if I can get 2 of them done, I could start something new, right? I mean, there's nobody to stop me from starting something new but myself. But 9 projects kind of stresses me out. Anyway, along with the pattern and the floss jewelry, I got a little baggie of goodies. And I've got some buttons in here. She sent me some more tea. I have got the burps. I apologize for that. But that's all, you know, I got lots of goodies with Bobbie's package, and I love all of them. But there was still more purchasing to be done. Because I was watching somebody on Flosstube, and I didn't write down who, but they showed this pattern. And it was another one that I had to have. I have been watching so many people who are stitching anniversary samplers. I know that Amy Loves Toad has been stitching one. Who else have? There's a couple of them, a couple people that I've been watching that are stitching Barbara Anna's patterns for their anniversary samplers. And they're all beautiful, but I don't stitch samplers. And I saw this pattern, and it has a space on the bottom for 2 sets of initials. And I thought, this is the one for Mark and me. We will be having our 38th anniversary in June. And I'm not starting this yet because I've got 9 current projects and I can't add a 10th one. I can't. So in my mind, my goal is to have this done by our 40th anniversary. And it's not that big. The design is 140 by 62. So anyway, what am I talking about that is going to be Mark's and my anniversary sampler? Silver Creek Samplers, Reaping Love. Look at that. This is fantastic. I think this is just absolutely adorable. And Mark hasn't seen it yet. He'll think I'm nuts, which he does most of the time anyway. But I contacted Acorns and Threads and I said, please, I need this and I need fabric to go with it. So they sent me a 32 count Belfast linen Whisper Gray, and I will be stitching it on that. I think this is going to be so much fun. And it goes so well with the decor around my house too, so I am looking forward to stitching that. All right. Piles on the floor. I received another birthday card. This time I received one from Colette Kingsley, and she sent this beautiful card. Thank you very much. And in it were these 3 lovelies. Now these are made from crafting paper, which we know I like. I could use them as bookmarks. I could make tags out of them to go in my journals. But what I was thinking of doing with at least one of them was covering the backup, covering part of the backup with some coffee stained paper and then putting some holes down the side of it and using this as a floss card. That's the plan for at least one of them. One of them I know is going in one of my journals upstairs. Thank you very much, Colette, for thinking of me. And then earlier today, a friend came over. A friend that I haven't seen for over a year. My friend Lori, Textsylust, she was on her way from her house and sisters going up to Olympia to go meet up with Lisa Smith, Kindered Stitcher, and they are going to go to Michelle Rudy's retreat in Amana. So she stopped by because I had picked up something for her and from a frame store a while back. And so she came over to pick it up on her way up to Lisa's house. And when she got out of her vehicle, she gave me this. Look at this project bag. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This is Nikki's Notables, and this is absolutely gorgeous. And it's got that same coloring on it as the seed bag, so I will definitely be using this when I stitch my seed bag. Thank you very much, Lori. I love this. I loved seeing you this morning, and I'm hoping that after everybody has all of their COVID vaccinations and life gets back to normal, to be able to get to sit down and stitch with some friends again. I am looking forward to that. Okay, so stitching. Let's talk stitching. Technically, I've been talking stitching stuff, right? This is one of my Lisa Smith bags. It is holding my Mill Hill Jim Shore Harvest Trio piece. So I have moved up from the pumpkin. I have done some work on the vines and the leaf, and I am now stitching the bird. And then there is also this real pale stitching right over here on the pattern. I don't know, can you see that? It kind of fades into the background. The called for color for that was DMC 3033. I am stitching this on the called for 27 count banding, and when I stitched 3033 on there, it completely disappeared. You couldn't see it at all. So I played with a couple of different colors. I even played with a very, very pale blue, which showed up, but when I was looking at it the other day, I decided that I really didn't like it. So I went back upstairs, and eventually what I did is I just used B5200 to do this stitching here. It's like swirls. And in person, it's very easy to see, and I think it looks much better. I think I have all the stitching, the cross stitching done in the pumpkin. I'm doing all the cross stitching in the birds, and then I'll move up and do the other two above that. And then everything that will be left will be beading. And I have all the beads, and I have all the DMCs. I know I've shown this to you before. There's 9 different colored beads that are going to be going on that. And the DMC flosses are in my little floss book, which was also a gift from Colette Kingsley a couple of years ago, but it has floss away bags in there. So I am loving how this project is coming along. I think this is something that I could get finished fairly quickly if I just focus on it. And I have possibly 2 others that I can get finished in a reasonable amount of time so that I can stitch something new. Because, yeah. Okay. The next piece that I have been stitching on, and I am housing this in a bag that Vicki made for me. It was a custom made bag, but I needed something that would fit my 11 by 17 Q-snap. And what I have housed in here is my first sampler. It's a new sampler. I got this from an Etsy shop because this year apparently I'm having a thing for Celtic designs and thistles. And I saw this and this is so pretty. It is so pretty. But this would be a modern sampler because while it doesn't have an alphabet, it does have runes, Celtic runes on it. So I thought that that would be fun to stitch. And this is where I'm at. So I've got the Celtic knot started up here. It still continues a little bit further this way. This is all one color of DMC floss here. The first part of it is half stitch, and then it goes into full crosses over here. So in person, it almost looks like you're moving from a lighter to a darker shade of this lavender. Underneath, I have several of the Celtic runes stitched. And then below that, I have the big thistle leaf started. So the thistle leaf will continue and come up this way. The flower will be here. And there is also a second set of the same Celtic knot down here, but it will be done in a pale green color. This was the one that I started for my birthday. So again, because of the design and everything, I'm thinking that this is something that I could get done in a reasonable length of time and hopefully be able to get to start something new. All right. I now have a pile of stuff on the floor. Because that's what we do. Seriously, everybody who makes Flosstube videos knows you start out with a stack and you move it. And the best place to move it is just to toss it on the floor. Because there's not enough room for everything. All right. There were more purchases. Not necessarily cross-stitch related, but yes, they were cross-stitch related. In my last video, I was obsessed with all the berries. I'm still obsessed with all the berries. I've made 5 more, but I'm not going to show them to you because some of them have been sent off to new homes. But I decided, well, I had some stuff that I had to go out and mail, and I decided that since I was going to be downtown Silverton, I was going to go look in some of the antique shops and see if I could find anything that I absolutely couldn't live without. And in one of the shops that I went into, I found this. This is a... Okay, I have to look it up again because I can't remember. Hazel Atlas Strawberry Jam Jar. I know that it's milk glass. I thought it was Pyrex because it just had that look in the bottom of it. It had that kind of look. So I came home after I purchased it, spent $12 on it, did a search, and I found out that it's the Hazel Atlas Strawberry Jam Jar. These were made in the 1940s. You can find them on eBay. I saw one for $10, and then on some other site, I saw the same thing for $28. So I was right there in the middle of the price range for them. But with all my strawberries, you know, I had to have it. Nice white milk glass inside. The lid there, I think that is absolutely gorgeous. And it could be used as an ort catcher, so that could be stitching related, right? But the other thing that I found, and I love this. I went into the second shop and I saw this and I looked at it and I put it down and I wandered around and I came back to it and I picked it up and I looked at it and I put it down and I went and I wandered some more and I came back and I picked it up and I looked at it and finally I said, Audrey, buy it. Buy it. This is a hand-made turned bowl made from one piece of buckeye wood, and this will be perfect for putting some smalls in. This thing is gorgeous. I mean, seriously, gorgeous. You can see the grain inside, you can see the coloring of the woods, you can see the knots on the side of it, the coloring here. This was turned by somebody who really knew what they were doing. And I absolutely love this. So I am going to be having some fun filling my bowl with treasures. Okay. I only have one more piece of stitching to show you. It's my Alphonse Mucha. But before I show you that, I wanted to tell you about getting my garden done. Besides spending lots of money on myself these past 3 weeks, and seriously, I spent a chunk of change, I decided that I was going to... Hold on, I have company. My video was interrupted. My daughter and my granddaughter came over because they... Well, about 5 minutes before they showed up, I saw somebody on the front porch dropping off a box. It turned out that it was the gift that my daughter got for me for my birthday. I'm not going to share it with you because it has words on it that people find offensive, but I think it's hilarious. It's a pillow with a pillow cover, and a wise woman said, "Blank this blank," and she lived happily ever after. She also got me a matching wine cup to go with it. Anyway, I think what I was starting to talk about is that one of the things that I did for myself for my birthday is I had yard guys come out and work on my yard. These guys came out and did my yard for me last year, and they did an absolutely fantastic job, and I loved it. But the problem is I didn't maintain it last year because I can't get out and do the kind of stuff that I used to do in the yard because of my knees and my feet, and I'm tired of telling everybody that I can't do things because of my knees and my feet. So I decided that I was going to add to that. And they came out and they totally cleaned up all the weeds in my yard, and I had them lay mulch down in my yard. And then I got smart and I asked them to come back once a month and maintain things for me. So I'm going to continue my birthday present to myself throughout the summer months. And I put together a short video clip that I'm going to post at the end of this video that shows what they've done to my yard and how it's looking right now. I think it looks fantastic. But in the video, there is a cat. This cat has been hanging around, since well before October. It belongs to somebody in the neighborhood. This is not my cat. But when Philip came down to help me decorate for Halloween, this cat came running up into the front yard and went right to him, and it was all lovey-dovey. When he came back and helped me at Christmas with the yard decorations, this cat comes running up to him and is all lovey-dovey. And when we found out that our plumbing needed to be taken care of and we were wandering around in the backyard, found out that the cat is still hanging around our house and is still all lovey-dovey. Philip and I have named her Mcgonagall. She is not our cat, but she's in the video. When the guys were here working on my yard Thursday, she was lovey-dovey with all of them. When I go out there, she comes and talks to me and tries to wrap herself around my feet. I think she's trying to kill me. I don't know, but that's what cats do. She was on the shed that we have outside the other day, and when I didn't pet her enough, she actually reached out and patted the top of my head, telling me that I need to give her some love. She is not my cat, but she's in the video and I thought that I would share that with you. The last thing that, oh, no, it is not the last thing. The next thing that I have to share with you on this video was the giveaway from my last one. This is some floss jewelry that was sent to me by Chris Yo, the lady who made my journal, and I love her work. I said if you were interested in this, to type in floss jewelry, and the lady who is going to be getting this sent to her is Carol Webster. So Carol, my email and my Instagram name are going to be in the drop-down box below. Please either send me an email or message me on Instagram. I need your address so that I can get that sent out to you. So before I show my Alphonse Mucha, in my last video, I was asking people if they would like to receive some happy mail from me. And if you are interested in doing that, my email is down below. Send me an email with the title, Happy Mail, so that I know that's what you want. Sarah King, our Stitching Kingdom, contacted me and said, well, if I've received mail from you before, do I have to give you my address again if I want to be included? No, you don't. Just send me an email that says Happy Mail so that I know you would like something. And I will eventually get around to sending things out. The other thing is, and I had 2 different ladies who did this, if you send me an email saying that you would like to be included to receive some happy mail from me, you have to give me your name and an address with a zip code. I'm not mentioning who did that, but there was 2 of them that either didn't give me a name or didn't give me a zip code. It's all good. So now I would like to show you where I'm at with my Alphonse Mucha. I have been spending some time with her. I am absolutely loving her. When I started her, I told myself I could probably get her done in a year. If I was a monogamous stitcher, yes, I would be able to get her done in a year. But I am no longer a monogamous stitcher. I've got 9 projects. So she's not getting the attention she should be getting as far as I'm concerned. But I have been working on her and I want to show you where I'm at. So she's still on the stand. And here she is. I think, okay, I had worked on finishing this side here, and as soon as I got done with this side, I moved over here and I started working on some of the background behind her. And then I wanted to come over here and get some of the background done on this side, because here's her face, here's her arm, and part of her chest. Down below here is where her dress is going to start showing up. I love her. I was telling my friend Lori, I already know where she's going to hang in my house when I have her done, because I will put both her and her companion piece, which is over there, they're going to get moved over here on this side behind my sideboard. But I have been stitching on her in the evenings. I have been stitching on her when I've been doing Zoom meetups. She's beautiful. That's all I can say is she's beautiful. So, I think I now have 3 videos that I have to try to put together, 4 if I'm including the one of how my garden looks and not my cat Mcgonagall. So until we meet again, live long and stitch on, everyone. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.